So like I said, we're doing a part 2 on the old Model 8. We got a carburetor in just the other day, and I put it on there, and I don't know what happened to the other SD card. It won't let me access any of the footage, so I'll just tell you guys what's going wrong with it. Right here, we cheaped out and bought a cheaper one off eBay. This is a original carb someone rebuilt, but we didn't go with the guys that do it basically for a living. We just bought something someone had for sale. Not gonna bad mouth them or anything, it's just the carburetor ain't exactly right. This piece right here is frozen and will not move, so we're gonna try to get it moving and fix that problem, so maybe she'll run. This is supposed to pull in and out, and this one, as you can see, is frozen solid, so we're gonna have to fix that. Other than that, and we lost some footage, I guess, on the 40 Ford project. I'm gonna try to get it off the SD card, it just won't let me access it. So we're gonna get into fixing this thing and get her driving around underneath her own power a little bit better than she was last time. And yeah, we're using vice grips. It ain't the best, but it don't have to be real tight. Well, that don't work. We got her fixed now. We just put a Carter key pin behind that and folded it over. So it's gonna hold it on there and we should be able to fire her up. If we turn the fuel on. So we're gonna change the oil in the old truck again. She's moving pretty slow. She does move. I was gonna try to get her up into the yard up there in the gravel, but that oil is pretty thin again. We changed it when we first messed with it. I'm not too sure how good the rings are because it smells real bad like gasoline, and we don't want to kill the babbitt bearings in this thing. And if you can see, that stuff's just about like water. So we're gonna change it one more time with that good zinc oil, and hopefully that'll do some good. And we're gonna also change the gear oil because I didn't do that yet, and you can hear the transmission whining when you're moving. So I doubt she has much in her. So we got our dinosaur juice here. We're using the VR1 racing oil, and the reason we use this, yes, it's expensive, and a lot of people don't see why I use expensive oil on these old vehicles. It's because it has high zinc in it, and these old cars have babbitt bearings in it, and it's a lot better than just using cheap oil. I used cheaper oil when I first changed it. I put some zinc additive in it though, but since she's warm now, we should be able to get the rest of the nasty stuff that's been in the oil pan from it sitting for 30 years. Hopefully this just ain't scalding hot. Oh. There we go. For that only being in there for just a little bit, that's some nasty oil. Ain't a good sign. I'm not sure if there ain't coolant in that. The first time we changed it, didn't have any in it. This time, it smells mainly like gasoline. You can see how thin it is. Just running that. We'll let that drain for a minute. So we already put 1 quart in there, and we're just gonna put all, I think it takes 5. I may be wrong there, I'm gonna Google that before we put too many in it. And that is gas that is in the oil. They hold 5 quarts, says the internet, but we put about 4 3/4 of a quart in there, and she's right there at the full line, a little bit over it. But once she gets some oil pump backed up through, she'll probably be a little low, or, you know, right at the bottom of the full. Looks a lot better than that other stuff we just pulled out of there. Slap this back on here, and we're gonna fire her up, let that run through her, and hopefully she'll kind of smooth out, because that oil in there was a little thin, and I'm not sure how it got that thin that quick, but we're about to find out again. So I think we got the timing issue sorted out. You can't adjust it this way or this way. Won't move, but this is what I use instead of lead additive, since I've got a lot of people asking. I just use Marvel Mystery Oil. May not be the best thing, but it always seems to work for me. I even used it in stuff like that 70s model Chevy over there. There we go. She fires right off because she's warm, unless I let her stall out. And as you can see, that's the end of 1st gear, and we're into 2nd gear. She's running real good now. We're into 3rd gear. Once you get into 3rd gear, we're going a little slow for 3rd gear, but we'll let her wind on around. So hopefully you can hear how smooth she's running. I think I got that timing issue sorted out. I didn't want to bore you guys with about 2 hours of me adjusting on this old girl. Everything from the carburetor to the distributor was a little off, just from setting, and also throwing that new carburetor on there. It wasn't exactly perfect. It still ain't. Probably gonna try to get another one. Hopefully we don't have to spend an arm and leg on one of them. We're gonna take her for a spin around the field. We might even take her out on the road depending on how well she's running. Well, it's the next day and we finally got the timing and everything sorted out on the old truck. I'm sure there's some old timer out there laughing at me for how long it took me to get this old girl just right. She runs a little rough, and she likes to rev up real fast and doesn't run the best. She has a lot of blow by. I'm gonna say the old girl has a lot of miles on her. Probably the original engine, and they never rebuilt it when they repainted the old truck. But we're gonna get to it and take her down the road, and hopefully we can make it back. But she's running. Come on, old truck. There we go. We're making it somewhere now. Pretty slow, though. 40 Ford project, because you guys should be seeing this here pretty soon. It just takes a long time to do like a restoration. We 4-linked in the back, we got it all painted, and like I said, we had an SD card kick the bucket, so we lost some of the footage for this, but we'll have enough to make a video. It's a flathead V8, just standard bore. And like I said, we got all the parts in. We're just about to start putting it together now. So hopefully, if it's we have a couple more warm days, we can finish painting the few pieces for the frame and get this engine put together so we can get that video to you guys and fire this old flathead up, because we got 3 Strongbergs, some sharp heads, and a bunch of other speed parts. Also on the old Cadillac, updates on these vehicles as I can that you guys have seen in the video. So here's the 17 Cadillac V8. We are going to take these off. We got them soaking with some PB Blaster to pull the cylinder heads off. The cylinder wall and head are one piece. Gonna take them to a machine shop, have them hot tanked, make sure we can save them. We may have to bore them and sleeve them, because we're gonna go back with standard pistons and standard rings, because everything in this engine has to be custom made by a machine shop out in California. They're the only people that do it. And the reason the engine wouldn't run is underneath here, these lifters run on, there's a set of lifters here, it runs on a cantilever system, that one runs on a cantilever system, and so on and so forth. 3 of them out of the 4 were broken. So I'm gonna say that's why it was parked, because they look like they had been broken for a long time, and that came off super easy, and it was corroded where some of them were broken. So that's what I'm gonna say happened, and that was probably equivalent of $100,000 back then to buy this car. And that's why she was probably parked. But we are gonna rebuild this. And if you notice, there's not much left of this car. The whole back end did fall off when I moved it. We may try to track down some parts and fix this one, but I think we're just gonna take this motor and put it in something else to give it a new life. And we're also gonna use the same transmission. And we're gonna make it nice. We're gonna polish all the aluminum and clean it up the best we can. So thank you guys for watching, and you guys will see a bunch more videos coming soon. Just taking a while to get some of them done. Thank you guys for watching. We got a lot more restoration videos to come. Just trying to give you updates on this stuff because you guys are asking. We got a lot more cars to get running and stuff, and also still some more we got to go get. But thank you guys for watching again, and please leave a like and maybe consider subscribing if you're new here, because we got a lot of Will It Runs, and we're gonna have a lot more restoration videos and stuff like that for you guys to watch.